Hello. Yeah, so let's start.
September 21st, 1987. It's been 1 year since I first went inside that house. I have to finish what I started. What I am about to do has not been approved by the Vatican.
I might need to turn it down slightly. This game's weird. See when I have it full screen, OBS like runs slower. Hopefully that doesn't affect the actual stream at all. Hello Nip. Hope you're doing well. Does this have options in game? To move, use WASD arrow keys or use left analog stick or a D-pad. I will walk before the Lord in the land of the living. Legit Bible quotes. I'm gonna use WASD. I wasn't sure if this had controller support. Face demons and cast them out with the space key or A button. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. Oh. But you do have to face them. You can't just... It seems like you have to do it in a certain range as well. Okay, and that's it. Okay, it's a little loud on my end. Let's see. Try that maybe? I'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully that's okay, not too quiet, not too loud. Let me just move something out the way in real life. And let's begin. I like the soundtrack. Good. Did I say Erdorf, the name of the developer on the truck? I think it did. I'm gonna go this way. It doesn't seem like they want you to go this way, but that is always my number one instinct. I'm not sure if the stream looks alright or not. Hopefully it does. It doesn't help that my second monitor that I use kinda sucks. Let's just keep going, right? I'm sure we'll get something awesome, right? I think this is a waste of time. I think they want me to go. Oh, there's a thing here. Is that a demon? A monster? A beast? Oh, weird.
Not this scary song, Vod. No, please, Pepe hands.
Why was scary about this song? This is a nice song. Thank you, Real Tech 9, for 200 bits. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. Can you let me know if the stream looks alright? Like, it looks like it might not be like fully smooth. I don't know, we'll see, Real Tech 9. It's not currently in the plans. It looks good. I was just wondering. It doesn't look totally smooth on my end, but I don't think it's supposed to look totally smooth anyway. You know, it's going for that like in television kind of visual style, so. Morning, Harvey. I wonder if I can take care of those. Hold on, did I say on Discord when I'm live? Yeah, I did. Just double checking. You know, we can't miss that. Even though no one probably reads that anyway. Oh, hold on. Oh, I picked up a Nasus earlier. Awesome. Oh dear. Game Sender GX episode about it? Yeah, I never played any of those. Oh, good lord, that's a lot of text. The Martin's house lies about 100 yards off the Snake Meadow Hill Road. There is almost no driveway. Trees jut out in the middle of a gravel path that is mostly covered in grass. It was difficult to find the house, especially since it was already dark when we had arrived. Father Allred seemed to know where he was going. He simply drove straight ahead until we arrived at the house. In the headlights, I saw an old shed off to the right of the path. Father Allred explained that he would rather perform the exorcism away from the house, but the Martins had insisted that Amy remained inside. He complained about having the family present makes it difficult to proceed with the elements of the rite that may seem harsh to the lay person. I'm sure it's fine. Oh, it's a monster, a demon, a beast. Well, I got a key. The only clock tower I've really seen anything about was the third one on PS2. You know, of the schoolgirl getting her head bashed in by a guy with a big hammer. That's all I've seen. Oh. Bob. The kids and I miss you more every day. The twins and Amy have started their next school year here at home. Amy keeps asking when she's going to be allowed to go to the real school, or to go to real school. I think she's getting cabin fever. The twins are having no problems occupying their time. Yesterday, they came in with their hands covered in blood. This is too loud for me. It's fine for you guys, but it's too loud for me. And I'll boost it on OBS. Because see, when I'm reading, I can't really hear myself, and it's hard for me to kind of latch on to what's going on. The twins are having no problems occupying their time. Yesterday they came in with their hands covered in blood. Oh dear. I guess they found a dead deer and thought it would be a good idea to touch it. I think we might have a coyote problem, because when I went out with them to look at the dead deer, it was a pretty gruesome sight. All of this just a day after the twins' birthday party. Can't wait till you come home. Love that noise for the monster. Isn't that the old NASA radio signal? Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh, well, can I jump in? Oh. You're invited. Come celebrate Nate and Jason's 6th birthday. Saturday, May 3rd, 12 PM to 4 PM. Directions: turn right at 1338 Snake Meadow Hill Road and go straight past the way. That's a very very nice clown, isn't it? Hey lads, hope you're doing well. I know you're not, but hope things get better for you. Amnesia was like that. Not to bring up old wounds, love forgotten. I know, I'm trying to get over that. We need to move on. Just checking. Just checking there were no spirits. I don't know, I mean nothing's really happened so far. I think we were here earlier. Yeah, we were here earlier and we got a key. I like the sound effects. I like the deer. Oh, the deer got wrecked. Oh, this is new. Yes. Yeah, I appreciate this as well. I like the less is more approach here. Mr. Martin, it has taken longer than expected registering the markers on your property as a historical cemetery. Our office has had difficulty identifying who was buried there. The inscriptions on the gravestones are written in a language that we cannot identify. I sent the gravestone rubbings to some of my peers at the University of Connecticut. I will reach out to you when I get a response from them. All the best. Daryl Henderson, State of Connecticut Historical Society. Let me just check this. Nope. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely understand that. For me, what I liked so far was, you know, it plays music when you're out here, but then when you went inside, it stopped playing music. I like that. I thought that was quite good, quite effective. So, was I here earlier? Is the question. Possibly. Yeah, I think I've the world in this game is like very small. And you scroll, it's like a treadmill. You go around it very quickly by going in the same direction, it seems like. Where's the run button at? Let's go down. Let's go right. I think we were here earlier. Yeah. Back to the road. Can you go south here? I wonder. No, you can't. We went along this road for a while, but I don't think that achieves much of anything. I think I need to find that well again. They're getting faster. Or maybe that's just me. My imagination. I can see a bit of a face there. I can always see faces and things. This is like the eye, this is an eye, this is like a nose, and here's a mouth. And this is like the side of the head, and here's like where the hair would be. It seems to be a recurring thing recently where I see faces and things. Faces and places. I used to start a Tumblr blog called that. Think of how much money I would rake in. Okay, let's go this way. Does Tumblr still exist? I have no idea. Sorry, yeah, I'm probably 10 years late on that. Frighteningly so. but it's weakened severely. I noticed that voice, but I honestly I don't know much about this game at all, so I was like, yeah, sure, maybe. Yeah, I think that's quite good. The way there's like no music in it. I think that's effective. Makes you go. Oh yeah, that rules you out, Harvey. Oh, Faber Garcia, you are hereby instructed to release Michael Davies from your car and return him to his home immediately. Mr. and Mrs. Davies have already been contacted by our office. A representative of the church is currently en route to their home to discuss compensation in return for their discretion. You will meet our representative there and accompany him back to Rome. Cardinal Gifford or Gifford? Oh. You really do have to track everything in this. I caught some people walking through the roads around the house last week. Not kids, just regular adults. They told me they got lost while hiking. I pointed them back towards the road. The whole thing just didn't feel right. I think I should go dig up Bob's rifle out of storage. Yeah. I'm probably one of those weirdos just walking around lost. When you're walking sideways, it looks like you've got a white ball gag in your mouth. Is that just me? Have I been here yet? Nope. Carl James Osborne. Connecticut's historical connections to witchcraft, Satanism, and the beast system. Wednesday, 8 p.m. Frame dropping? See, well, if Vice says it's fine, then it's fine, but it looks weird to me on OBS. But it's one of those ones where it's not supposed to look smooth anyway. But like, see I've got OBS on my second monitor, and I can see like the audio. It's not smooth like the way it normally is. It's like, I don't know, at the wrong frame rate or something. It looks weird. I guess this game has like a cap frame rate of like 30 or something, and maybe that carries over to the second monitor. That's my guess. Computer games, am I right? A dad cat. Finally. Mr. and Mrs. Martin greeted us at the front porch. Mr. Martin led us downstairs to the basement, explaining that Amy was down there in restraints. I felt for him. There was guilt and shame in his voice. Amy was in the very back of the attic in a chair, perfectly calm, staring at us. It is hard to describe the look on her face. It was not the kind of look a child gives you. Oh, hello. Thank you very much, Macaroni, for the massive raid, the true Macaroni raid. Thank you so much. You were streaming for a long time today. Usually Macaroni streams aren't that long. But yeah, no, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a marvelous day. That's true. I mean, of course it's true. It's the, true macaroni. Gotta have faith, faith, faith. Yes, the Limp Bizkit version, of course. The classy version. Wouldn't it be nice if I could touch your body? No, no, not everybody's got a body like you. Except the CS:GO part. Was that awful? What happened? And hello, Jimothy, by the way. Is there any George Michael in this game? Probably not. Wouldn't mind a bit of GM. Second match was quite awful. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What's this game about? I don't know. We're discovering it. Well, I'm discovering it for the first time, so seems interesting. We've got our cross, and that's our only defense against monsters, demons, and beasts. No, this is a new old game. Looks like a plus, I guess. So yeah. Hmm. Turn on the TV. What, put your feet up. Watch some bargain hunt. Dear Emmy, thanks for writing. Really brightened my day hearing from you. In your letter, you asked what's the weirdest thing I've seen as a missionary. The area we are working in has a lot of folks who practice Quimbamba. It's what you call a pagan religion, kind of a mix of Catholic and African religions. One of the saints they worship is San La Muerte, or Saint Death. Yesterday we talked to a boy, about 15. When we asked him if he ever prayed, he said no, but I've prayed the San La Muerte. He told us about a time when he stayed over at his cousin's house, and according to him, they prayed to some figures of San La Muerte, and the figures made things in the house move around. He got real quiet, scared looking after that. He told him he could pray to God, and that God wouldn't make him feel scared like that. We invited him to church, but he hasn't come. I need to wrap up this letter up, get back to work. See you in 4 months. Layton, Professor Layton. Anything in the washing machine? I'm not sick. I'm fine. Are these training dummies? Ooh, this looks bad. Read this. Amy's parents could not endure witnessing the proceedings of the rite for long. Mrs. Martin was hysterical. The thing that was inside Amy was feeding off the fear. Father Allred asked me to take the Martins upstairs. I was physically worn out but managed to get them back up the stairs, into the kitchen. Amy was screaming, "Mother! Mother!" the whole time. Finally, I got them to sit down with me at the kitchen table. After a few minutes, we couldn't hear much of anything down in the basement, so I went down to check on things. Father Allred, lying on his back unconscious, with his arms spread out wide. Amy was not in the chair. There. Ooh.
She is here.
Oh, I love the voices in this, by the way. They had a little bit of voice during the intro, and I was like, this is great. It's definitely in television sounding. I guess I was the only one who thought to check in the attic. When I got up there, it was freezing cold. I found Amy standing in the back, looking straight at me, like when I first met her downstairs. We spoke briefly, although it was frustrating to talk to her, or it. I experienced a bit of deception from the demon. During our conversation, she uttered my mother's first name. In other instances, spoke perfect Latin. I called for help from the others, but nobody came, so I raised my crucifix and began to write again. I like this music. Bob must be stationed somewhere in the Middle East, because he sent over this weird looking doll for Amy's birthday. I'll ask Anish about it next time we have book club. She looks like she could be from over there. Amy didn't seem excited to see the doll. I think she would rather have a phone instead. Or maybe seeing a baby doll makes her feel self-conscious about working at the clinic. Self-conscious is spelt wrong, but I'll forgive it. Ooh. You can't flush the toilet, unfortunately. That was close, was it? Oh dear. I don't feel safe in my own home anymore. I hear voices outside around the house at night. I don't let the twins go out in the woods to play because I'm afraid of what's out there. The house itself feels stressed, distorted, slanted somehow. It's like I'm walking through a carnival funhouse. Amy's condition has only gotten worse. I can't stand to be around her, and I don't know why. She just doesn't seem like herself anymore. I don't want to take her to the doctor, but I can't leave the boys here. I find that the phone stops working throughout the day, and now I can't seem to find my car keys. Thank God Bob comes home tomorrow. Bob, save us. Is that an exercise bike? Is this good? No, that's bad. Okay.
Mortis.
Are we starting over from the start? No, okay. I thought we would have had to start over from the very beginning.
She is here.
Just don't know if it really matters to pick these up again, but yeah, I should have that emote for this game for sure. Is that Simon? Simon says. And there's a Etch-a-Sketch. Okay, this is where I died. I was originally playing this with the WASD keys, but now I'm playing it with the arrow keys instead. I'm using my left hand for space. Hello, Fred. Good morning. Thanks. Yeah, I decided to rewrite that for today, or not for today, for the month, I guess. Macaroni reminded me, are you? Have I been in here yet? I don't think so.
I heard a door open upstairs.
Okay. I guess I'll go back upstairs then. Ooh. Karen, the church might contact you in a few days to tell you their version of what happened to me. I want you to hear it from me first. A year ago, I was involved in the exorcism of Amy Martin. What they said in the papers about what happened isn't true. She, my superior, Father, with. When I confronted her, she managed to cut the power to the house. And her own parents, with their own. I have to go back to that house. The nightmares I'm having are real. She's still there, waiting for me. I can still help her. If I don't come back, know that I love you. And I'm sorry. John. Yeah. I recognize some of those too. A Dear John letter, yeah. I like that.
My God, what happened to you? Do you think my face is pretty?
Yes.
I have to finish what I started. She's my priest.
Boss battle? Did you ever have any educational, like, computer games, Jimothy? Because I did. I always found they were either too easy for me, like they were for below my age group, or they were too hard for me because they were for above my age group. I really like those moments. They look great. Very nice. Oh, sneak attack.
More this.
But yeah, this stuff looks fantastic. Damn it, and fell for the same trick again.
More this.
I did it. I did. There was one series where you had to go around and collect stuff to answer questions. The game for that, I remember there was one where you drove like a submarine, and it was kind of like a shooter, but you had to answer math questions. And I'm terrible at maths. Oh, This is
More this.
harder than Dark Souls, confirmed. Dun, 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 dun. I like this music, it's great. Dun, 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 dun. I feel like I'm not quite. You need to kind of get good hits in at the start, like right away here. Then dodge. Maybe. The game for hardcore players, though. Oh, cool. Dun, 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 dun.
More this.
Mortis. This is legit spookier for Amnesia. It is, I agree. And it's actually interesting. I'm actually like, oh, this is, you know, fresh. I don't want to knock Amnesia too much, but yeah, I don't know. A game with gameplay. Well, this, you know, it's more of a. This is more of a. It's more of a game, and you know, Amnesia. To win the monster battles and that, you hide in the corner for a bit.
More this.
Math Rescue and Word Rescue in early 90s edutainment. Did you also have the album Edutainment by Boogie Down Productions? I need to get better at dodging. If only you had a fat row. Zoom beanies? I've heard of that. I don't think I played that though.
More this.
Let's focus. Ah, oh, come on.
More.
Nah, that was just me being rubbish.
More this.
Jimmy, the J, the I, the M, the M. Yeah. Of course. Is that your theme song, Jimmy? It's Jimmy. It's Jimmy. Of course, P. Diddy did a horrible version of that in the early 2000s. Horrible. Just awful. It's disgustingly bad. That's awesome, Jimothy. I'm surprised it wasn't me. That was the first Boogie Down Productions album I listened to. By All Means Necessary from 1998. Or not 98, 88. 1988. Iconic album cover of KRS-One leaning towards the window with the Uzi in his hand. Awesome. See, this bit is when it really gets me. I know, Fred. I'm just that's what happens when you hang out with Fred too much, I guess. It's not so much that I was wrong. I misspoke and quickly corrected myself. There's a little bit of a difference, no? I can't get the timing on that. I mean, for me, I only know the 80s and the 90s stuff, Jimothy. But yeah, like all that stuff is great. No, Fred, of course not. I think this hive mind that we've built is beautiful. It is lovely and it's strange. Oh, that was close, wasn't it? Dun, 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 dun. Bum. My hind. Sounds like a helicopter. Can I jump out the window too? No. Dun, 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 dun. Can we play Simon now? No. Boo earns. Can we go home now? $1 billion? Yes, it costs £10 million.
Gone with one bullet.
Oh, I wasted that quickly. I was trying to skip, like, get pat, like, continue the dialogue because I thought it was gonna stay there, and it just turns out that I wasted my one silver shiny bullet. Nice, Fred. I can't wait for you to game request some Buffy for me. That'll be lovely, isn't it? And you're gonna be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe Xanadu showed up. And I'm gonna be like, what? You can do that now if you like. I mean, it is I guess you could play that in October, right? Kind of fits. Did I just leave completely? Or should I? Let's just have a look. Make sure. Can I request a watch party of every Buffy episode? No. It's back. It respawned.
Gone with one bullet.
It knew I was gonna be stupid. They knew exactly. Let's go home. I feel like I might have made a grave mistake. Guns solve every problem. Yes, so. Where does this go? Dead end. Awesome. Let's go home. Oh no, not the cops. Murderer, 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 murderer. That's brilliant. Police arrest man accused. Police arrest man accused of murdering missing girl. A New York man is in custody after he confessed to the murder of a sterling girl who had been missing. John Ward of Palmia? Palmra? Was pulled over on Snake Meadow Hill Road last night after a state trooper reported hearing a gunshot. The officer thought it might be poachers. The officer said Ward was acting nervous and suspicious after being pulled over. When questioned, Ward reportedly said, "I've killed her. I've killed her." According to the police report, the officer called for backup after Ward became increasingly upset, saying repeatedly that there was a demon inside her. Ward was taken to the Sterling Police Headquarters for further questioning. Ward then confessed to the authorities that he shot and killed Amy Martin, a 17-year-old girl who had been missing for 9 days after escaping from a mental institution. After a brief search, police located Amy's body in the woods near the now abandoned Martin home. In addition to receiving a gunshot wound in the stomach, Amy showed injuries suggesting that she had been thrown out of the second story window of the house. An officer who helped recover the body told reporters that Amy's face had been mutilated in a very brutal manner. Ward was found dressed as a priest. It is suspected that he impersonated a priest to gain his victim's trust after Catholic authorities in Rome confirmed that Ward was not an ordained minister. The rest of the article is missing. Oh, you can just start over from here? I thought we were going to have to play the whole game again. Not even a real priest. An absolute fraudster. Well, that looks lewd. Force field. What else can we do then? Beating her up. Does that actually say Vatican? Amazing. Yes. Can I just go home? The Gothic V. It does look like it does look like a B in small font. If I blew it up and made it bigger, it probably would look more like a V. They look very similar. You have to admit, they look very similar. There's a slight difference, but it's subtle. Is it uncultured to not mess around with silly fonts? Chiller font, that's my favorite font. Oh, bum. Take the gun this time. Oh, don't get me wrong, I messed around with silly fonts all the time back in the day. Chiller, like I said, you gotta love that chiller font. But yeah, when I was a kid, I used to just mess around on Microsoft Word. That was my idea of entertainment back then. It does look like a massive cigarette, it does. Comic Sans. See, Comic Sans is too mainstream.
I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in him I will trust. I shall not be afraid of the terror in the night, nor the evil that walketh in darkness. Because I have made the Lord my refuge. Because I have set my love upon him, therefore will he deliver me. I shall call upon him and he will answer me. He will be with me in trouble. He will deliver me and honor me. I can't explain what happened at that house. I can only have faith that I did the right thing.
That feels like quite a, you know, feel-good ending. Police animal experts investigate chupacabra remains found near Sterling. Sterling PD is enlisting the help of local animal experts from the University of Connecticut after remains of an identified animal were found near Sterling. The remains of an animal, which some residents are calling a chupacabra, were discovered on Snake Meadow Hill Road by a motorist yesterday. The animal had apparently been struck by a vehicle and parts of its carcass were scattered across the road. Police say they initially investigated the gruesome scene because of the motorist, who discovered that the remains had told them that they appeared to be of a person. After arriving at the scene, police concluded that the remains were of some kind of animal. As a matter of public safety, we have to be sure about what exactly we're dealing with here, said a Sterling police spokesman. This is clearly not a deer or a coyote. It's a mountain lion or exotic pet that escaped from its owners, or an animal with rabies. We need to know about it. Animal experts attached to the investigation would not speculate about what kind of animal they had found, although they had commented that the animal was hairless, anemic, and apparently suffered from the rickets, a vitamin D deficiency that appears in animals and children who have not received enough sunlight. Let's just go to the car with no gun. I would like it if there was an ending where you just fall into the well. That's not sinister. Oh, so can you not kill this one? Is that the crack here? I guess so.
A gun with one bullet.
Awesome. Yeah, that stuff's good. What was the one? Wingdings or whatever? It's literally just symbols and stuff, and it makes absolutely no sense. I'm sure there's like one person in the world that like understands that as like a written language. If you wrote to them in wingdings or whatever, they would understand what you were saying. No problem, Fred. Enjoy.
A gun with one bullet.
That's how Elvin was born. Hmm.
A gun with one bullet. A gun with one bullet.
Here we go. I feel quite good about finding that. Oh, poo.
More this.
Do I have to shoot the mirror again?
A gun with one bullet.
Yeah, I take back what I said about this game. It's terrible. No, it's cool. I like it.
A gun with one bullet.
Thank you for censoring yourself, Macron. Appreciate it. Keeping it PG. PG-13, I guess. For my American
A gun
friends.
with one bullet.
Pretty good. Is that the control logo for we're fighting over here? I should give that game another chance someday. December 30th, 1986. Dear Dr. McGlashan, it has been 30 days since the beginning of my treatment here at Yale Psychiatric Institute. Dr. Spinell, who has been so patient with me, has helped me understand my afflictions and has helped me find a way to move forward and accept the truth. With Dr. Spinell's help, I have come to accept what really happened in September at the Mark family residence. I accept that what happened was not the result of any supernatural phenomenon, but rather the desperate actions of a driven by violence by her dogmatic parents and old church rituals that are fought to drive out evil. I am happy to report that since accepting the truth, my nightmares have ceased, and I now enjoy peace of mind that I have not felt since the incident. Given my progress in first coming here, I fully request my release from Yale psychiatric. Sorry, I'm just terrible at saying some words. I did have a bit of a. I actually went to special school for talking back in the thing. Institute. Sorry, just taking a drink. contingent upon following up appointments with Dr. Spindle in the future. Sincerely, John. Yeah, I mean that sounds like a happy ending to me. Can we just leave now? I mean, I kind of got that vibe from, you know, the murderer ending, right? I mean, I kind of get that in general, I guess. Hmm. So I have to fight. I have to do that fight again.
A gun with one bullet.
Hello, Bon. By the way, I don't think I said hello because you came in during my
Gun with one bullet.
epic monologue.
A gun with one bullet.
Da, 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 da. What do you mean, like if I had to be like the protagonist?
A gun with one bullet.
Oh. Well, no one would choose to be in a horrific situation, but you just mean like for funsies. I'm trying to think. Um, I don't know. I think the scariest kind of horror is like the kind of mental, psychological stuff. But I wouldn't want to be in that. You know? Is there like a bad like horror knockoff of Inception? I can't, there has to be. There has to be. Why did I do that? Alright, let's kill the yeah, let's kill the thing and then shoot that.
A gun with one bullet. A gun with one bullet.
But yeah, I know I'm like a really bad person to ask that kind of stuff. Food horror. I know it's a thing.
A gun with one bullet.
Oh. I like the way it sometimes spawns like really far away. Sometimes it spawns really close. It sounds like you win the jackpot when you beat that thing. Don't like how you have to scroll all the way down to leave, but sure, the minor quibble.
A gun with one bullet.
What if I go a different way? Completely. With my massive cigarette. Can't go in. I don't know what the red thing is, by the way. The Nessus. I don't know. Because I picked that up ages ago, but I don't know what it is. I'm sure there's a purpose for it, but can't work it out. Okay, sorry. Pretty cool game though. Oh, so it's like a clown nose. Oh, from the leaflet, right? Are you happy now? Are you happy? Doom 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 do 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 do. I feel like they want you to follow like the kind of the gaps in between the trees, like these big wide gaps. They don't really want you. Like you can go pretty much anywhere at any time, but I think they kind of funnel you. Like they want you to follow these kind of paths.
I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in him I will trust. I shall not be afraid.
Oh no! Oh no! That's good. I like that one. Esteemed Cardinal Gifford, with all due respect, you cannot grasp the importance of the work I am doing for young Michael without being present here. Michael needs my help more than ever. In the past few weeks, I have made great progress with Michael's affliction. Nevertheless, whatever darkness is inside of him fights back with increasing ferocity. We must not let up the fight against the enemy at such a critical time. There is another reason why I dare not return Michael to his family, nor let them see him. The darkness inside him afflicts his soul, but it also causes a terrible strain on his body. So that there may be no mistake in what I mean. I have enclosed a photograph of young Michael during one of our sessions, and the photograph is missing. So how many endings do I have? 3?
With one bullet.
One ending to go. Oh, really? Oh, so see the mirror? Does that count as an ending? Like this here, I don't need to do it again. I thought it was 3, but
with one bullet.
I thought I had 2 more of the final. Because this feels like an ending. See when you do this boss battle? Yeah, it's a 2 of 5, and I've definitely seen 3. I don't know if this counts as one. I kind of don't think it does, because it doesn't say that it's an ending, you know what I mean? I feel like there's something you have to do after this, and I'm not sure what. I believe I've seen endings 1, 2, and 5. Is that right? Can we just like hang out here and have fun? Admire the wallpaper. See, I feel like you have to do this, and then maybe there's something else you have to do for one of the endings.
With one bullet.
I'm just looking to see if there's anything else knocking around. What happens if you shoot the TV like Elvis? Oh, it doesn't even hit it. Scam. Absolute scam.
With one bullet.
What happens if you shoot the mirror again? Oh, it just goes through, does it? Or was that a bad shot? That might have been a bad shot.
With one bullet.
Yeah, okay.
A gun with one bullet.
Anything up here? Probably not. But you never know. Video games are weird. Hello, Illuminati 7777. Here he is, making his grand entrance again. Kicking in the door, waving the 4-4. I mean, Illuminati hits everything apart from like 2 games: Rocky Legends and Skyrim. What a combination that is. You thought it autosaved? Oh, rip. Awesome. Mod Skyrim to be Rocky Legends. Oh, you can play as Clubber Lang in Skyrim. Amazing. That would be truly amazing. If that doesn't exist, then I don't know. I've lost all hope for humanity. What happens if I blast the beast here and get into the Kiar? That's how people from like not necessarily the country, but other parts of this little country I live in say car, they say Kiar. Exactly, Harvey, yeah. See, I think this is going to be the same ending as before.
I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in him I will trust. I shall not be afraid of the terror in the night, nor the evil that walketh in darkness. Because I have made the Lord my refuge. Because I have set my love upon him,
Yes.
therefore will he deliver me. I shall call upon him and he will answer me. He will be with me in trouble. He will deliver me and honor me. I can't explain what happened at that house. I can only have faith that I did the right thing.
No, not JJ. This is an ending that I've already seen. I'm just not smart enough, that's the problem.
A gun with one bullet.
I might need help getting the last 2 endings. I feel like you have to do this though, about this battle first for something. Surely.
A gun with one bullet.
3 more games you like? Did I? Whoops. Nice shooting.
A gun with one bullet.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Yeah, I might do like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something. Stuntman.
A gun with one bullet.
That's such a out there, out of left field choice, isn't it? Some NFS games, like Road and Track presents the Need for Speed for 3DO, I assume. VOD doesn't give me enough credit. Okay, sorry, you like what, like 8 games? Ooh. That's a lovely picture. By 20. I mean, it's not that much, is it? When you think about how many games there are, 20 is pretty small. No, anything that isn't dog shit. Still 20, I know. What was on the soundtrack for Pro Skater 4? Oh, by De La Soul. TNT by AC/DC, I assume.
A gun with one bullet.
Express Yourself. The original version or the NWA version? Shimmy by System of a Down. Anarchy in the UK by Sex Pistols. NWA, okay. Well, yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah, I don't think the original would fit so well in a skateboarding game, I guess. Doesn't really fit in with the attitude. Midlife Crisis by Faith No More, which is from the album Angel Dust, which is one of my all-time favorite albums. My Adidas by Run DMC, of course they call it Adidas, but they're wrong. It's Adidas. Verses of Doom, is that by like MF Doom or something? What happens if I shine my Muska Beats featuring J. Rue the Damage Head? I don't know who Muska Beats is, but I know who J. Rue is. Jay Rue also did the song The Original, which was on the GTA 4 soundtrack. By the time I get to Arizona, that's a Public Enemy song. An absolute classic. Black Ball, I don't know that one.
A gun with one bullet.
I like that you're testing me on like. I like that you're just naming songs and you're testing me if I know the artist or not. I'm a Star. I don't know. I immediately thought of Highway Star by Deep Purple, but that's not right. No, tell me. Muscat Beats. See, that's who is this person? Is there anything else that I can shoot? Cannot go off the screen this way. Oh, Chad Muscat. I've actually heard that name. I probably just saw like someone play as them or something at some point in time. What was the other guy? Burn Quest or something? You know who I'm talking about. Yes, yeah. Chad Muscat. Rodney Mullen, yeah. I've heard that name too. Literally only because from watching other people. As you know, Illuminati, I didn't grow up with those games. I'm not cultured in that way. Can you shoot your car? Oh, would have been amazing if you just shot your car and it blew up. Oh, that'd be amazing. I should be pitching ideas for them. No, I shouldn't. My ideas are awful. Illuminati's gonna game request me like one of those games someday. I can smell it. I can smell it. Can you game request? Of course you can. You must have loads. You've been around forever. Oh, you don't? Oh, rip that then. No, you need 200,000. You're not that far off. You've got about as much points as Macaroni, the true Macaroni. Hey, Lisa Bugcat. You're sure you had that much a year ago? Do you want to help me, Vice? I feel like, am I right in thinking that there's a secret with that, shooting the mirror, but I just don't know what to do next? Like, what's the next chain of events? I'm just sitting here with a glass of juice in one hand and me using the arrows in the other. This is some classy gaming right here. A deer, you say? Okay. No need to shoot the mirror, really? Because that to me felt like it was going to be the main ending. Like that feels like, honestly, that feels like a part of like the canon ending, if that makes sense. Stuntman game requests here. I played the demo for that back in the day, Illuminati. It was by Reflections, right? The guys who do Driver. It's canon because it's hidden. Ah, got you.
With one bullet.
In television, no, but it's definitely in that vein for sure. With the voices and just the overall presentation, it's very in television. What was that game in on television? What's it called? Like, I don't know. No, I can't remember. It had a dragon in it though. It reminds me of that. The fake scan lines. I actually don't like fake scan lines ever. I don't like it. I wonder if you can turn that off. Adventure? No. It's a different one. I need to look it up. Can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. It had a sick dragon in it though. And my favorite thing about in television is that walk cycle. You know the one, the iconic in television walk cycle. I love it. It's the best. It's actually really fun, but it can get difficult near the end. That was my understanding of Stuntman, was that it was extremely like trial and error. But I don't mind that, you know, I love like stealth games and stuff. Take that. If you can beat Bit Trip Runner, you'd have no problem. It's a good point, actually. Yeah, that's. I mean, Bit Trip Runner, I guess, is like the gold standard for trial and error, right?
I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in him I will trust. I shall not be afraid of the terror.
Oh my goodness. Nice. So one more. I just need to get ending 3. I like that. That was good. Bon, were you reminded of when, you know, Bishop Brennan gets his revenge on Faber's head? Undiscovered body discovered near red car. The site of a deadly car accident was discovered along a road near Stirling this morning, along with the body of a person who has not yet been identified. At 6 a.m. this morning, a resident called the report an accident along Snake Meadow Hill Road. The driver of a silver sedan had swerved off the road and struck a tree. A spokesman for the police commented that the body appeared to have been dragged several yards away from the car, deeper into the woods after having ejected from the front windshield. It was noted that the body had been mangled beyond recognition. Investigators suspect this was probably the work of coyotes. Police have also noted that parts of the clean white-tailed deer were found in the trunk of the car. From a white-tailed deer, a hunter typically gets 75 pounds of meat. However, it appears that the victim of the accident was only able to carry 25 pounds back to the car. Hello, Jolt Lord. How you doing? So no, not everyone. Well. Yeah, yeah. So one more ending. Feel free to
A gun with 1 bullet.
hint me, because I'm not sure. Now for real? Dead cat? No. There's a dead cat?
A gun with 1 bullet.
I remember you saying that, but I didn't understand what you meant. What time is it? Yeah, I can play something else afterwards. I don't, I might play it, Joel, but not tonight. I might, like, break it up and do that a little later. But I do have it, don't you worry. Five stones. There's 1 stone. Or a rock. Dwayne Johnson. There's that guy. Creepy man. Yeah, I really like this music. It's great. Ah. I didn't realize that was a cat, to be honest. I didn't know what it was. Well, whatever it is, it's properly dead now. Yeah, I have no idea what it is. But that's why I guess I was confused when you said that earlier. I didn't understand. I thought it was something. Yeah, obviously we're kind of getting to that now, but yeah, a deer? I don't know, or a fox maybe. Oh no! Oh no! Awesome. Hello, Amy. I'm sorry to hear about your parents' decision. It is hard for people to trust what they do not understand. I know you're only 17, but you're clearly an adult, and you're able to handle your own life. Do not let your mom and dad stop you from following your dreams. If there is anything I can do to help you, just let me know. We were having a get together at the clinic Saturday night, and I would love for you to stop by. We still continue to consider you a part of the team. Even if your mom and dad do not, we hope to see you there. Gary. So who's Gary then? What's the story?
A gun with 1 bullet.
GG, thank you. I mean, I managed to get what 3 of the endings, and the mirror thing pretty much on my own. And you helped me with the other 2 endings. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad. But yeah, cool game. I enjoyed it. Sorry, I just wanted to do that again. Give me a moment. Is there anything else to check out, actually? It's no amnesia. Oh, yeah, look at this. Oh, this is the true horror experience right here. It actually is a lot more. I can understand why you wouldn't want to play it like this for your first playthrough, but yeah, it's a lot more freaky. People would hate it. I guess so. It might be a bit hard to navigate, actually, this early part. You know, it took me a little while to find the main house. What about a mode with no lights, so you just couldn't see it and you had to play it without being able to see? Well, at least we got to see that. Modern gamers. Imagine being a modern gamer. Oh. The idea makes me shudder. Let's check this. Some kind of free roam. Yes, this is a sandbox open world game. I think it's hilarious that they have driving / racing as one of the tags for this game. That is funny. You make your own fun. That's what I tried to do for that terrible game from yesterday. And I did have a little bit of fun, you know, swinging the chandeliers. Oh no. We played Amnesia: The Dark Descent yesterday.
I go unwillingly.
Nice clip. Get out.
I have forgotten the big father.
Cone vision's definitely scarier. This is more playable though. Like you can actually play the game like this, I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Mortis.
So there we go. I think that's the end of that. Computer games. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, cool game. I liked it. It was cool. That was a unique experience. No problem. Yeah, we're gonna look at a black screen for a bit. I hope you guys don't mind. Saw someone who walked down the road. Lorry came and they tried to stop it with this crucifix squash. That nearly. I was quite close to getting run over. I didn't, but yeah, that's pretty funny. Let's see. What am I doing? Computer games. Computer games. I need to get a few things fiddled about here. Are you guys ready for some fiddling? So yeah, I hope you guys are having a nice day. Appreciate everyone stopping by and saying hello. A fiddling game? No. I don't know who Charlie Daniels is, by the way, but I'm gonna, on a hunch, I'm gonna say that that's probably for the best. Let's see, computer games. Yeah, Vice for sure. It's definitely more in television. I'm trying to think. What's that game with the dragon in it? Let's see. I'm gonna do a quick Google for it. Television. What's it called? Like, I don't think it would be very helpful if I looked up just list of Intellivision games. It's probably bad. There's a game called Frog Bug. Astro Smash. I've played that. It's not very good. It's a game where you shoot garbage that comes down the screen. It's not very good. Is it called? Not Thunder Castle, is it? No, it's not. Sorry, I know this is like terrible content. And you guys probably don't care anyway, let's be honest.